So if he would have just got off stage, got up out of there and went home, it would have been safer for him. Fifth of all, I wouldn't have did it. You dissed the Inglewood family.
33 shots, got hip hop, spin laps, turn the suburbs of Inglewood to a gym fast, turn the suburbs of Inglewood to a gym fast.
You ain't from nowhere. This is a whole damn blood event, basically.
No, understood.
So why would you take us up there?
Facts. And
you ain't gotta be tough. We know, nigga, we know you sick with it. We know you with it. We know you ain't no busting. But I would have been like, man, that money ain't cool. You was making money already.
Not all money is good money, right? Not all money is good money.
It's okay to decline. It's okay.
You got every blood from LA up here on this card.
He dissed everybody else.
And you done dissed.
Not for sure.
You done dissed the real game. You done dissed the real game, my nigga.
But he's the root of all evil. Rap is like, if it's smoke, it's really smoke with us. We ain't playing, you know? So, like, I'm gonna tell the homies the same. So, I done told DP that, like, we ain't doing none of that weird shit for nothing. For rap, no, we not on none of that.
Against the venue and Live Nation or whatever?
Nah, it's still court.
Takes the time.
Oh, man.
You feel like they just need to be held accountable, though?
Yeah, security, no, they know what time it is.
So you was going crazy on the Sting team, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to talk about it because, you know, they was here. I mean, I want to see who really run Los Angeles, California.
It ain't no problem.
Like the number speed.
Even no problem.
Like number speed. Like the number speed.
You carry a capital offense, and it means that I want to go kill you. I laid in wait. I did all this other shit. They add all the other shit in there.
I had all that lying away, all that meditated shit. I gave everybody guns. They said I go out buying guns. I knew that this was gonna happen because I create situations in my life. So I should have known. I had the criminal street gang conspiracy.
That's new.
Yeah, it's like a state Rico. They said I was responsible for anything that any of my friends do. All the gang members, all that.
How you beat that? How you beat that? How you beat that? How you beat that? How you beat that?
Cause
what's the word, YouTube family? What's that word? It is your player partner, your humble host, Crispy Clean Cliff over here.
Speaking of facts,
TV holding down daily, as y'all already know. And today, man, we got a very interesting video, dog. We got a very interesting video. I'd like to say before we start this video, because I haven't watched this, it's fresh, Anonymous. Before we start this video, I'm coming in with heavy doubts. Heavy doubts. Draco the Ruler was one of my favorite artists, but I know the type of shit that he had himself into, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming in this video with heavy doubt. Now, the title of the video is This Is Why Big U is being accused of allegedly having Draco the Ruler killed. Now, this video was presented by Hookah Anonymous, in which case their channel will be in the description and pinned in the comment section. They do a phenomenal job at doing these type of videos. But when I seen the title, I said, I don't know about this one, bro. They're trying to put a lot of stuff on Big U. So everything that is said in this presentation that ain't coming out of my mouth is a reflection of the homework that Hookah Anonymous did.
The comments.
Still, Hookah Anonymous even says in the title that this is why Big U is accused of allegedly. So that allegedly says that nothing in here can be stated as a fact.
True.
When it comes down to tying it to Draco the Ruler. So with no further ado, let me start running my big Jay-Z size lips, my camel flappers. And we finna get off into this, bro. But just know, I'm coming into this a tad bit skeptical. Again, the title is This Is Why Big U is accused of allegedly having Draco the Ruler snipped.
I said, listen, I know what it is that did Draco like that. Where you at? You gonna see him on FaceTime with Draco the Ruler the day before he died. And me, because I put him on the phone with Draco the Ruler, and then he pull up.
here's why it's never a good idea to put street business on social media, as I always tell y'all, because you leave digital footprints that can later be used against you, whether it's in a negative way or positive. And I think it's safe to say the way everything is unfolding with Big U situation and Loose Cannon, they have left a lot of breadcrumbs, mostly Loose Cannon, on social media for people to start putting the pieces to the puzzle together. Now, I'm not saying this is true or it's 100% confirmed, but what I am saying is that since Draco's demise, his passing has always been
stuff they already know.
Everything
They just lining everything else up.
From what we're seeing in the media now, it's a possibility that he was set up the whole time, but not by who we thought. Here's why. We all know the story we've been told about Draco's passing, which was back in 2021 on December 18th. He was set to perform at the event Once Upon a Time in LA, where he was stabbed in the neck during the altercation that broke out backstage between him and his entourage and allegedly YG's
R.I.P. Draco.
His mother stated that during an interview,
hit that like button if you like Draco.
He was attacked by 40 to
hit that
60
subscribe. You
masked
fuck with
men
Draco.
that seemed to have arrived when YG did. Now,
So right there, that's kind of saying a lot right there. He said they're alleging that these people who quote unquote took Draco out, they are alleging that these guys was with YG. This is what the reports are alleging. Also, that these guys was all in the sea of red. So that would be a little taboo to think that Big U would have that much pull with the
bloods
blood
to do that.
hit on Draco.
Yeah, that's deep.
Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm coming into this a little bit.
Conspiracy theory.
on it, there was no security that broke up the scuffle that seemed to have lasted longer than it should have, which led to his mother filing a lawsuit against Live Nation. But aside from just a lack of security, 40 to 60 masked men sounds like they were not there by coincidence, but it seemed like they had an agenda to carry out the whole time. Keep in mind that Draco was the only one that got stabbed out of everyone, and I don't even think YG ended up performing. Now here's what's interesting. Everything was set up to seem like YG and Draco's beef is what led to him losing his life, and being that both of them rep two different sides with YG being blood and Draco being Crip, is believable that these two got into it, and that's what led to them.
We gotta stop right there. Shout out to Hookers Anonymous, because I can see why you would come to the assumption that Draco the Ruler was a Crip. But Draco wasn't officially a Crip.
Nah, he just grew up in all the Crip hoods.
He hang out with a lot of neighborhood Crips. Hell, his birthday even had blue and yellow balloons.
Yeah, he fuck with him. I know
But
him.
Draco was never officially
No, he's not a Crip.
Draco still rode under the.
His mama moved around too much,
and
his dad was never there. It was just him and Ralphie. His mama go to church.
Never a Crip.
In a blood versus Crip war.
His mama go to church right now,
Seeing
sit
how
next to
everything
my
played
mama.
out with Nipsey Hussle and Big U, I seen similarities within Nipsey and Draco's situation. Now, according to Wack, Loose Cannon, and others, the time Nipsey Hussle was doing a video shoot with YG, it's been said that Big U didn't like the idea and called around to have guys try and backdoor Nipsey at the video shoot. However, Nipsey was well loved amongst the guys, and instead of carrying it out, they warned Nipsey to not go to the original location they were going to shoot a certain part of the video.
Got a call. The back door was ordered on Nipsey Hussle by Big U. But instead of filling the order, Nipsey had so much love, they gave him the heads up. Nipsey's team didn't arrive yet. Called the team, tell them turn around, head to the Marathon store. Then YG called, where you at? We got to finish the shoot. This song's a hit, guaranteed. That's when Nipsey told him, you know what? Come down to the hood. Let's shoot it down here instead. They can't backdoor me down here. And YG went on his way. But during the shoot, Big U and company came through, kicking down cameras, trying their best to stop it.
So with that in mind, Nipsey told YG to come to a different location,
man.
and they would end up just doing everything
Doing
there.
that same shit
Nipsey
that
dodged
Dill
the bullet.
Dog used to do.
But the part I'm looking at is that Big U, who was a fellow Crip, is the one that tried setting Nipsey up, and they were friends. But if Nipsey would have never got the heads up and the guys ended up setting them up, from the outside looking in, everyone would have assumed it was a blood versus Crip situation and thought that Nipsey was a target of gang violence. When all along, it came from his own people. So when you see that, and then you hear that Loose Cannon was talking about people checking in with Draco the Ruler just days before he passed, and then he shows his distaste for it, and then Big U pops up, starts to make you wonder. And then with Big U having allegations of extorting guys and wanting them to check in with them, doesn't make it any better. Especially when you can tell that.
It's all
I
allegations, man.
believe that,
Speculation. YouTube
Draco
would do you
Derulo and the
dangerous.
16 guys went against the grain. Yeah, they
Nah, they
wrong
wasn't
the
fucking with
fence.
Inglewood, but it was
But
mainly
dude,
Inglewood
rapping
families.
just
It wasn't
came out
everybody.
with a song called
Like
You
he
Don't
even
Be
told me
Big On.
himself, he was like, it ain't
I don't
y'all.
know about
But
that,
the
bro. I
Inglewood
don't think
families
Draco
become
was falling up under the law
Look, man.
of Big U. I
Nah,
hate to say it, but I don't think they was easy.
No. This is the truth. This nigga rap back. This nigga don't know, nigga. I know Draco, nigga. I know he know him like my mama know his mama, nigga. Draco. Last time I beat Draco, we was on the county jail bus going to Compton Court. Yep. And that's where he told me, he said, hey man, I know you heard that song, this and that, but that ain't about, it was Inglewood, but I'm talking about Inglewood families. I was like, I already know, nigga, because you don't beef with no other hood. It wasn't no other hood. And then he was talking about Inglewood families when it was aimed at Munchie. But then Rucci and AZ Chipe hopped in on it. Now, cloud chasing bitch shit, right? So, like I said, once again, Munchie got the name. But I said he didn't make the name. So he's literally cloud chasing on his big brother. And what I can say is, be honest, that's why I said I'm blessed to be home. Because me and Munchie, oh my God. Like, man, nigga, me with Munchie, I always had a little common sense. I ain't gonna lie. I had more than the common sense. Because I always knew when he was in jail, I was getting visits every 2 weeks. And if I'm in the hole, that means my mom and dad, if they don't hear from me, they still finna drive to San Luis Obispo from Orange County to see me. And they will be told at the door, I'm in the hole. And that's when you had them visits behind the glass. I did not like having visits behind the goddamn glass. I would rather them go home. I can't eat shit, can't do shit. They ain't giving you no food or nothing. What's the point of going to visit? You can't get the meals. Everything microwave anyway. You know what I mean? I be in there for them fake pork sandwich burgers, whatever they call them things that McDonald's used to sell. The McRibs. Yeah, they be having the McRibs in there. Boy, I'll be's a good boy to go to visit. Oh my mama, I'll be's a good boy. Nigga, don't play with me. But back to Draco. Draco was not a crip. Draco grew up in the hundreds. He was over there, and then with doing music, he started fucking with the Harlems. And then, little truth be told, that nigga Mustard on the beat. Mustard, his studio first was in the Harlems. He's a blood. I don't know which one he's from, but I think he's from 20 or BPS. Wherever he was, he lived in the Harlems. That's what YG met her in the club. So I said, what's up? Tooted and booted. Yeah, I thought that song was trash. But he made a banger for who? The radio. You make radio music like The Weeknd and stuff like that, you gonna boom. Just like I said, my lives and stuff like that, they don't boom. Let me do a short. Check out my page and look at my shorts. Man, I've been working so hard. Man, I could put something out and in 1 hour, 1,500 on a short and get all my subscribers from that. I done got up to like 40 something K views in the last 2 days, like 48K. Like, I went to my studio and seen like what I've been doing on YouTube. Yeah, I got like 48K views in the last 2 days. Like, people be watching my shit. So I really got to be on it more. I got to damn near be on it more than my barbecue business, kid. I would show y'all the cleaner that I use for my shoes, but I ain't into promoting. You know what I mean? If it ain't me or one of my bros, my broskies, I can't do it. I can't do it, but you know what I mean? They do a good job. And it's no water. They bring your shit back A1, right? Bring your shit back A1. Like, my shit ain't ran over. Don't get at me like that. My name ain't Bosco. They bring your shit back A1, right? So bam, I will promote it, but nah, I ain't getting paid for it. You feel me? Why would I do that? But do a great job. And I know a man that's like Baby Shaq. He be around the way. He be in Thousand Oaks Mall. He be out there with the white folks. And you know what? I used to look at him like, how can you clean shoes and really press people like in the malls? But he don't work for the mall. He work for himself. Big old black dude. You never see. He's so dark, you wouldn't even think he speaks Spanish. And he speak it fluently. Matter of fact, he's married to a Mexican female. Dig that. So with that being said, my boy, he gave me like maybe like a little stockpile. I'll show the back of it. I don't know if it show, but yeah, I'll show the back of it. This is it. And the solution. And see, my shoes a little bit dirty. A little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit. But it's gonna bring them back all the way. Feel me? I don't know if you can see anything, but yeah, they a little bit dusty. I don't be banging my feet like that, you feel me? But one thing I will say, using this, it do with no water, it do a great job. Because water is the main thing that tear up shoes. You feel me? So when you do find you a little solution, when you go to the malls, don't buy from the regular dudes. And especially if it don't come out like liquid, don't get it. Don't get it. And then especially don't get it if you gotta add water. Water is very harmful to the shoes. Just like everybody know with Air Force Ones, you keep washing them Force Ones, you gonna get that pea yellow bottoms. Big. That's why you gotta get solution for your shoes. You got to. And then proof them. I know it seems like you wasting money and why should I buy this? Look, man, if you got real kicks, if you really be spending money on your kicks, you gonna buy the solution with no water. Like I said, I don't be banging my feet up too much, but this solution, it will teach you not to put water on your shoes. Feel me? So that's one thing I recommend for any sneakerheads. Do not put water on your shoes, man. Spend your money on that solution. Stop being cheap. I know the shoes cost like $250 or something. You feel me? I'm in the game with you. You dig? These ain't the regular ones. You feel me? Come on, Broduski. Come on, broski. You feel me? Hey, and I had a hater, all right? In one of my views, I got like 2.5, 2.7K, right? And I had a comment. And the dude said, hey, man, why you be saying Broduski? I said, what? Man, I talk face to face with Aaron the plumber. I showed on my Instagram we was finna do the spit on me too until Whack 100 punked him. So that's why I say Broduski. I could say that because I know that man. And if you want me to post it again, I'll show you again. But back to the shoes though. You know, I ain't into promoting. If it's shown on accident, it is what it is. But I do promote not putting water on your shoes. Now, with the kids, this is what I tell you. This is my secret thing that I do for the kids. Okay. Now they got that proofer, right, for your shoes. And when you use that proofer, I spray mine from a distance. I spray, yeah, you gotta do it at a distance. If you don't know what a distance is, spray your shoes from two steps back. And don't do no leaning over, just aim it. And once you aim it at them shoes, that's enough distance to where you can spray your shoes with the proofer. I don't advise nobody that never used proofer on their shoes to just be spraying it up like it's a spray can, like you hitting up on a wall. That's very, very dumb. That's not smart. It's not smart. You're not gonna go nowhere in life doing that. And that shit gonna be dripping all on the floor and all that. That's nonsense. But I do recommend that when you do spray the proofer, spray it at a distance. You know what I mean? Act like it's a fire. Don't get right up on it. But we finna get back to this, man. I just got to get into everything. Just like I said, man, a lot of people want to see my life, so I show them everything. Like I said, I got like 48K views today. And that's all from fucking putting in work on shorts and all the bullshit. Like Nina Boy told me, he said you gonna have to put in that work. I didn't know what he was talking about, but now I know what he's talking about. You gotta put in work for YouTube, but they ain't paying you nothing. And that's a fact. We gonna get back to the content because I see everybody running away. Let's get it. Let's get it, shorty.
That way.
Draco wasn't with anybody trying to bully him or take anything from
Right,
him.
exactly.
Then after his passing, you see Loose Cannon speaking on Draco's brother Ralphie the Plug in a
Straight
disrespectful manner.
sucker.
Also saying
That
during the
nigga don't
interview
even
how
want to
he
get no
told
get
Ralphie
back.
who unalived Draco and had it dropped, but he claims that Ralphie was scared. Well, now the first question is, how do you know who the person that unalived Draco is?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. I wish we would have got more information off that alone. But if you think about this, right? YouTube family, follow me down conspiracy road, right? If you get on camera and say you have information on exactly who did that to Draco, wouldn't law enforcement be, I don't know, curious, or wouldn't they want some of that information? Like, wouldn't they want that? Wouldn't law enforcement say, hold on, let us reach out to Loose Cannon because he knows the guy that took out Draco the Ruler, because law enforcement don't even know the dude that took him out. So I think that law enforcement would be, what's the word I'm looking for? They would be interested in that piece of information that Loose Cannon has. Now, Loose Cannon went to the internet and said a whole lot of different stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if this don't come up somewhere down the line.
But I think we all know at this point, he did call out Big U for allegedly having some involvement, but we'll get into that a little later. Loose Cannon been saying things about Draco the Ruler and Nipsey's passing, and Big U allegedly having involvement for months. But I guess nobody was paying attention. Now remember, Loose Cannon and Big U were very cool friends. This is why I say the worst enemy to have is someone you once considered a friend.
Okay.
Why? Because they know everything about you. They know some of your secrets. They know some of your dirt. They know the locations in which you and your family may stay. They know the places you frequently attend. And it's just bad. Having a frenemy is worse than having any other enemy you may not know. Now, in this situation with Big U and Loose Cannon, it seems like they fell out, but Loose Cannon's disdain for Big U may have landed him in the hot seat with police. Reason being is, they are very aware that he has inside information concerning Big U, and this is because he's been doing interviews in his own podcast, exposing information and dirt that he has on Big U. So basically, the police knows for a fact that he has information because it's already on social media. It's videos like this where that's
basically what I was just saying. Like, if Loose Cannon has any information about Draco the Ruler's alleged killer, then he already said it out there in the open. Excuse me, he went on no jumper and said it in the open, man.
That's what makes the Fed not even have to have an interview. You told him everything.
I knew the dudes to kill his brother. It's like, okay, so you know the dudes. One, how do you know who the dudes is and the police don't know the dudes? Two, how is the police not coming to pick you up?
Knocking you at your door.
Murder?
Come on, man.
You
It's
said
an
it on No
M1.
Jumper, the loudest platform?
Yes,
on the
and it
West
was
Coast,
at Rolling Loud. Come
reach
on now,
more
stop
people
telling these
than
lies.
the news stations out there?
that Big
Y'all gotta put y'all thinking
set
caps
Nipsey
on.
Hussle up, and Nipsey Hussle threatened to expose Big U a week before he passed away. That will have police asking him about things like this because he clearly knows something. So now, some of the charges that Big U are brought up on, they're going to want help in getting evidence to help those charges stick. And who's better to get than someone you know has information and know is an enemy of Big U? Now, I'm not saying Loose Cannon is going to cooperate because we don't know. But what I am saying is, if he doesn't decide to work with
He
them,
already
they're gonna make
cooperated.
things
It's on
very difficult for him
tape.
because they
He
know
don't gotta
and he
cooperate.
knows
He already
information.
told.
So Loose is going to be put between a rock and a hard place. However, let's get into the situation involving Draco the Ruler, Loose Cannon, and Big U. Now, first and foremost, rest in peace to Draco the Ruler. And y'all let me know if something just don't sit right.
Long live Mr. Moses. Y'all come in the comment section right now and say, long live the forward crash. You finna let our boy Hookers Anonymous roll through this.
Y'all, after hearing everything that Loose Cannon has to say, as well as videos proving his points. Now, before we get into it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Now, to the post right here, would say, quote, now this only proved Draco was associated with them. As a civilian, we need justice for Draco.
R.I.P.
Loose Cannon
Draco.
said they know who did
Hit
it.
that like button.
Now
if you
another
like
person
Draco.
was saying, whoa, Draco the ruler with Loose Cannon in
Subscribe,
LA,
please
day
subscribe.
before he was stabbed to death. Draco was speaking on how easy it is to get caught lacking in LA. Then Big U mysteriously pulls up. Now, although he said this is days before, Loose Cannon did a podcast about this whole situation, and he says this wasn't days, but this was literally a
Hit that
day
like button. Subscribe if you
before
ain't subscribed.
Draco was unalive. Y'all check this out.
Nigga out here getting shopping and posting pictures and all that. That's like
The money wise and all that extra.
thinking they got these restaurants, thinking they low. You in Beverly Hills and all that. 10 minutes from the hood.
Right.
You out your mouth. You say over here.
Keep the location.
I don't do that. I go out of town. I don't post no hotels, none of that. I know better. And the first thing I do, as soon as I get you, I hit. I need some blowers, man. I need guns.
Right, Draco, you telling on yourself. You don't know this nigga recording you.
I'm out of town. They praying on like that.
Man, come on, man. They praying for your comfort, man.
As soon as you think you smooth, oh, you're walking on the beach. The same way, that's like it. Walking up.
You know what's so crazy about this chat?
He knew better.
Draco the ruler was told that they can't bring Quete with them. When they went to the concert,
Yeah, they said they can't bring guns.
He was told, and his security was told that they can't have Quete. And the way that Draco talking right here, you would have thought that he would have been, since we can't bring Blick with us, ain't no going in. But I guess they all made the conscious decision to go anyway without Quete, bro.
Big U conspiracy.
Y'all remember the video with Draco?
It's still Big U name on it.
Allegedly. Now, for a lot of people that don't know, when you go to California, you may think that you're okay because you're in Beverly Hills or you on Melrose, but a lot of people
Yeah, it's
don't
like
know
10
that
minutes
the
from everybody's
right?
hood. You can get there on the bus.
Literally,
it'll be like 45 minutes on the bus.
Literally 3 to 5 minutes away, you have the hood. So you may have a nice park right here, but then you walk this 2 to 3, maybe 4 blocks away.
Nah, it ain't that
and the
close.
hood is literally right there.
Nah, it ain't that close. Nah, it ain't that
Melrose
close.
ain't that close to the hood.
Nah.
It ain't that close.
It's like 10, 15 minutes in the car. It's going to be 30,
So guys
45
come out
minutes on the
there
bus.
lacking, thinking everything is sweet.
That nigga
So
lying.
they surveil the area.
That nigga
Yeah,
straight
they over
lying.
there. They like, I know you're gonna be over
But he
here.
got good
I know you're gonna
content,
be
but he
shopping
lying right
because-
now.
Because if you don't have money, what are you doing over there? So you definitely gonna be
not
shopping,
from
gonna have
LA.
money, you might have a Rolex or something, and you become an easy target. Whether you a civilian with money or maybe a rapper with money.
I know better than that. I was in Miami, I ain't doing nothing. They got Haitians there, they don't know.
Right back home.
Way on the
Wait
side.
7 years for 45 days, so right back. It'd be the only person.
Speaking on that, I be telling Aunt, like, because he got to go back to Norway.
Unc is Big U.
Our attendance is winning.
Unc is Big U.
Now you heard what he said. He said, I be telling Unc he gotta go back to his old ways
Unc is Big
because the
U.
out of towners be winning. Now when he says
See?
Unc, he's referring to Big U.
Told you.
And when he says his old
Never
ways,
watched
he's
this
talking about
before.
having the outsiders
He talking
check
about that
in.
California squeeze. When he talking about going
And
to the
Unc,
old ways, he
that's
talking
the reason
about
why they call him
increasing
Big
the
U.
strength on the California squeeze.
His name is Unc. That's why they call him Big U.
The out of towners are winning. and he gotta go
Everybody
back to
Big
his old
Uncle
ways.
instead of
Meaning
cousin.
that,
They
yo,
call
come
him
in here,
Unc.
they doing what they doing, and they
Everybody
winning out
else is
here.
cousin.
You gotta
He
start
Unc.
having them check in again.
I'm telling you.
And then he pulls up.
Tricking, super tricking, super tricking.
Keep in mind, that was a day before Draco lost his life. Now let's get into the actual video of Loose Cannon
The day
alleging
before Draco
that
lost
Big
his
U
life.
may have some involvement in Draco's
U was
demise.
with him.
Y'all check this out.
So we about to expose Big Useless, Big Uterus, and we're gonna expose Ralphie the Plug at the same time.
Disrespectful.
For y'all that don't know who that is, Ralphie the Plug is
Draco's
Draco
brother.
Ruler's
Little brother.
blood brother.
Little brother.
So remember Big
Different dad, same mama.
keep telling everybody he never had an
Draco
iPhone.
and Ralphie, same mama, different daddies.
You gonna see him
But they don't know
on
that. Cause
FaceTime
I know them niggas.
with Draco the Ruler the day before he died. And me, because I put him on the phone with Draco the Ruler, and then he pull up. You get what I'm saying? You gonna see all of this.
So Loose Cannon play a dirty game, bro. Loose Cannon play a dirty game. Loose Cannon, now he trying to point the elbow of Draco the Ruler's demise at Big U. Now, the title of my video was debunking Big U's involvement with Draco the Ruler's tragic demise, but bro.
But it's funny how Big U was with Draco the day before he died.
Ain't no
Conspiracy or no? Hit that like button, subscribe if you ain't subscribed.
This is Draco the Ruler giving him the phone in which he just got through with a conversation talking with Big U, right? And he's on the iPhone. This is a day before he was stabbed in the neck at the festival.
Yeah, I still don't know. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know about that, man.
And then you gonna see Rolf.
Because if you a fan of Draco, that's the thing. Like, the difference is, like, a lot of people making these videos now because of everything that's going on with Big U, so they want to tie everything to him. I get the PNB ride, Loose Cannon them was there. The boy Ray Sean Williams, like everything, Nipsey Hussle, they tied everything to Big U. But if y'all was fans of Draco, that's the difference. Like, if you fans of Draco, then you already know, even if Big U had nothing to do with this, we got a pretty clear idea, and it's not a laugh matter, but we got a pretty clear idea as to what happened, bro. Draco the Ruler was heavily beefing with the Inglewood family Gangsta Bloods. Not only that, the Baby Star Gorillas. So BPS, Inglewood family Gangsta Blood. You got so the common synopsis of the situation was that Draco the Ruler didn't like no Bloods. That's how LA felt as far as gangbang land go. Although he did have Bloods with him, like Money Mark from Swans. But the general synopsis was, oh, Draco don't like no Bloods. When y'all seen Draco getting that squabble, him and the Stink Team and his brother, all you seen was a sea of red. So I'm just like, I don't think that Big U, and I'm not putting it on the Die Moves neither. I just don't feel like Big U got that much control, bro. But that's just my skepticism. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing that's coming out of my mouth 100% fact neither. Let's just be straight and honest with that.
Of how he played out, Draco is telling me he didn't trust Ralphie. Ralphie, he didn't feel comfortable with him, and he was asking me to go to the show with him, but I had prior engagements.
I don't know about that, bro.
So at the end of the day, it's like this, right? You got a scumbag, everybody be talking, acting like he just this big macho person and stuff like that, but he's not like that. Sugar Plum, McDonald's Perfect, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, do all of that sauce and condiments.
He burned. Yeah, he was the worst with the bullshit.
Because you're not. I hear that little stuff that you be saying and going on and stuff like that. When are you going to address certain things? But look, we ain't going to warm up to it after that clip is over and after I get my hard drives back and the thing's over. I'm putting out that FaceTime video, right? But you did say you never had an iPhone. Remember you said that? Oh, people, we're about to expose it, right? You know, today, it's his birthday. And I like to save things for special occasions. So, sweetie! Here we go.
Sweetie!
Ralphie, listen, you was pathetic. You let the bag go. Where your career at now? You told me.
That's crazy, bro.
When I said, let's get out and go do something or whatever, you said you had a career and you didn't want to do anything. Don't make me feel the
weird. That is kind of strange. How does you know exactly who did it then, Luce? How the hell do you know exactly who did that to Draco, and the police ain't came to you and asked you, because you told us on No Jumper that you know who did it. Just like you told us on No Jumper about the big use to the, so it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. How do you know who did it? How you know?
Put in the footage where you thought you was Karate Kid and you didn't do nothing, sweetheart. Draco is full-fledged up in the front, you in the back. You took off running first, sweetie. You a marshmallow. You is the total opposite of you is the real meaning of light skinned.
And he ain't lying though.
This is what
Ralphie
we're talking
ain't
about.
nothing like Drake.
You have to have some type of
Really,
color
you
in
gotta
your
pump him up to do something.
Melanin is crazy.
Ralphie is not
Melanin.
gonna get no get back. He's not
And
like
the
that.
word is melanin.
He's a full-fledged buster.
He is. I ain't gonna lie.
Sweetie.
He is. And that's why he said it like that, because Ralphie ain't gonna do shit about
Get
it.
exposed.
Ralphie ain't gonna say
Whoever
shit.
listening
He
to
gonna
you,
do nothing.
they should be ashamed.
When you see him face
You
to
let
face,
his own
he
brother
still ain't
go.
gonna do nothing, say
His
nothing.
brother had a son. But I'm about to get
I ain't gonna lie. As far as Ralphie,
Yeah, he don't want no
As far
problems.
as people saying Ralphie allowed Draco to rule, nah, bro.
And he ran with the
It
rest
seemed
of
like
them.
them dudes was on a mission.
But he ran with the rest of them.
Imagine somebody having a bank.
Ralphie ran with the rest of them.
It seemed like this was planned out before they even got there. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna take him out.
Ralphie ran with the rest of them.
We're gonna get up on him and take
And that's
him
all
out.
I gotta say. And I know
It didn't
Ralphie.
seem like a spare of the moment decision. It seemed like a hit.
He ran with the rest of them. I don't give a fuck what he talking about.
It's a shame.
I don't give a
So
damn.
they were able to. They'll never,
Don't matter.
ever find
It don't matter. I'm not leaving my brother. Either we get poked up together, nigga. I'm not gonna come home to my mom and say I left my big brother. You tripping, nigga.
So I think
We
they
gonna leave
came
together,
to
nigga.
do what they did.
Bet that.
And I think
To the
that if
end,
Ralphie
nigga.
plugged them and get up out of there, they would have did what
To
they
the
did.
end.
They would have did that ass did it to them too. Somebody else
To the end.
popped up for real.
You got me
But
messed
Draco
up.
definitely was front lining.
We both
Was.
That's
I
a
don't
fact.
agree with that.
You ain't gotta
I don't
think twice, nigga. I'm gone.
Although this is why we loved him, I don't agree with him being at the front line, bro. Hey, bro, I wish that day you would have just ran, Pete. No bullshit.
put some content.
Draco ain't running.
This is real.
He just got out the county jail. Why did he just got out the pen? Why would he run?
Big useless.
We don't run. You learn something different when you in there.
Huh?
You a different type of man when you get out the
A case
pen.
and stuff like that. And just chatting. He trying to send him back to jail.
True.
This is not me saying it.
True.
Y'all about to hear it.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. Let's get off into it.
He doesn't. How did you get away with that one? Start
Exactly.
scratching his head like.
And he fouled for
I'm not
that.
gonna lie.
He
Y'all
bleed.
see
He
the
bleed.
video
Young.
he's talking
He
about?
bleed
It
big you
is
for that.
questionable for a person to ask something like that, especially in a public setting. Like, if you
Hey,
really
what's
genuinely
up? Make sure
wanted to
y'all
know
like,
how you
comment,
beat that
subscribe,
case,
bro.
I feel you should have asked them in private. Right? The cameras is rolling, and you also have people that you don't know who's who around asking this man how he beat a body. Right? That's out of pocket, but I don't know.
Let's hear it, man.
I got some new information. You get what I'm saying? This is raw, authentic, nothing fake. I love Draco to death. And I ain't gonna let nobody exploit his
Me
name.
too. That's my nigga. I know him. That's my
Facts.
nigga. I know him.
So Sweetie!
Yeah.
Sweetie!
Ralphie's a buster
Here
though.
we go.
Ralphie the plug is a buster.
That ain't gonna happen unless you know.
Take a night. Take a night.
What? Gonna strip you and go around the corner, and you're gonna be looking for this.
Come back in and sit down next to you. Yeah, talking about what?
Hey, nigga, you don't even know.
Right.
Draco just
You know,
squares too, huh?
feel like you don't know. You did.
Stop worrying about what Draco do, nigga. Everybody come out the pen and smoke some squares,
Go
nigga.
around the corner and come back. He's talking about how grimy the
All
guys
smoke
are in
squares,
Cali,
nigga. We be
right
thinking.
where they at, which
We
is
be
crazy
thinking,
because
nigga.
now when you pay attention to how he may have been set up, everything he's saying that can happen may have
Did
happened
happen.
to him. He's saying a guy that's close to you will set you up, pretty much strip you for
look,
whatever
said
you
it at the
got.
same
Go around
time.
the corner,
Set you
come
up.
back, dressed a whole different way, and chill around you like nothing happened. Snakes.
Ain't that part of the rap game? Snakes, hyenas, slack. Ain't that snakes? I'm just saying.
So that right there was Big U, right? After he gave Big U the phone, Loose Cannon went and had a conversation with him, and then he came back and gave Draco the Ruler the phone back. Now you know what's crazy? Seeing how everything played out, I wonder what was being talked about on that phone.
No bull crap, man. No bull crap. I want to leave a little bit on this video for y'all to go over there and check out my boy Hookah Anonymous' channel.
Yeah, he did his thing, man.
But it's definitely wasn't number like 10 minutes left.
He did his thing. He did his thing.
Shout out to a lot of y'all, bro. I seriously doubt that Big U had anything to do with setting up Draco the Ruler. I seriously doubt it.
That's a fact. He ain't have nothing to do with it.
Is we all seen.
Oh, you from Brazil? Hit that like button, subscribe if you ain't subscribed. I'll be out there soon. I'll check out your country soon.
We kind of seen it coming. It's not like it was far-fetched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a fact.
To find out that Wack 100 was with him the day before.
And Richie Banks, you know what happened to Draco.
The day of, actually, Wack 100 talked to him the day of. Y'all talked to him the day before. But I mean, bro, that's just Cali, bro. Right here, Draco was the biggest artist on the West Coast before he passed away. If you ask me, especially street rap.
Draco was the realest. Before he died, he was killing everybody's shit. Then he did that feature with Draco. I love it inside this club, but it's on my mind. 16 bottles in the club and not good love.
I don't feel like they would have been able to put the California squeeze.
When he did that, he killed everybody.
I just don't feel like it would have happened that way. So,
okay, you don't understand English? Look, hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button.
I can see the tree we marking up on this one. And you never said that he actually did it. You said he's accused of doing it and allegedly had it done. So it's not like you standing firm on.
I can't react to music on YouTube in the US. If I was in China and YouTube, they don't have copyright laws. California is part of the US, so we can't do that. They can sue us.
Draco the Ruler and his entourage, the Stink Team, and his.
But hit that like button, subscribe if you ain't subscribed, just because I told you that.
Bring Cuete, the pistol, burner. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't bring.
Yeah, Cuete is gun in Spanish, duh. You ain't outsmarting the police. They speak Spanish too.
And Draco was the type of dude that wasn't really, although he was on paper, bro, he was known for keeping that pistol with him. So that was strike one. Red flag number one. Red flag number one or number two was that they said that even security couldn't even have his either. Yep. So that's red flag number two.
I would have went.
So right off the bat,
off the bat, I ain't going.
The Bloods or quote unquote the sea of red.
You crazy?
They was already there waiting. They was already there waiting. You know what I'm saying? So
the SoFi
I don't think that it had nothing to do with
Inglewood with no burners, and you did start everything. You is burnt out, Draco. You my nigga, but you is burnt out.
Did that to Nipsey. A Big U backdoored this dude. He backdoored that dude. He snitched on everybody.
Big U ain't got nothing to do with it.
As much dirt as Big U, excuse me, y'all. As much dirt is on Big U's name already. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like, I don't know, I could be wrong. I personally don't feel like he had nothing to do with this Draco situation.
Nothing.
I really just don't.
Nothing.
I don't know. But y'all jump in the comment section and let me know how y'all feel. Do y'all feel like Big U had some type of involvement?
He ain't had nothing to do with Draco.
I just can't see it. I can't see it. Like I said, they wasn't going for that. But anyways, you two family, as always, we're going to sit up there and stay down until we go together, man. It's just the law at this point. The description, in the description, Hookah Anonymous channel will be in the description, and I'm going to pin his channel in the comments. He do a good job. Y'all go over there and watch all this stuff. And you might want to go watch the remainder of this video. It ain't too much more left, but hey, man, you might want to go over there and check out this whole thing. Now, like I say, I don't know. This wasn't extremely convincing to me that Big U had something to do with it. So, hey, man, until next time, it has been your player partner, your humble.
Yeah. Shut your ass up.
Thank Cliff over here, Cliff Royalty.
We got some people saying some wild shit. But here we go.
Yesterday, we found out that Loose Cannon and Brick Baby were missing for 2 days and nobody could reach them. And today, we found out exactly why they went missing. So we found out that Loose Cannon and Brick Baby hadn't made any contact with their families for 48 hours when Loose Cannon wife Sharice Mills would drop a video on their YouTube channel talking to Brick Baby's wife, asking her if she has heard from Brick Baby because she hasn't heard from Loose Cannon for 48 hours.
Hey, Mama. Did you hear anything from them? Are you for real? So Brick hasn't called you either? What the heck is going on?
No idea.
He would have called you by now, right?
Sure, he would have come right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He ain't called you back yet?
No.
Well, it looks like we have our answer. We now know exactly why Brick Baby and Loose Cannon both went missing for 48 hours after announcing they were cellmates in jail. So apparently, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and Big U were involved in a fight, according to Loose Cannon and Loose Cannon's wife. Loose Cannon and Brick Baby got into a fight in their cell, and one of them had to roll it up and leave.
That's funny. Very close. Very close. They both did get into a fight, but other people was involved in the fight too.
Oh, really? Wait, hold up, they jumped Big U? Oh, cuz.
No, they didn't jump Big U. But
This
that's
nigga playing
Big U was also
games.
involved.
Whoever used the AI Flacco to join that call, that's not me. Flacco don't talk about street politics. I don't talk about nothing street. That's not me. Flacco would never. But Loose Cannon wife Sharice, she would.
So you just say you don't speak street politics, but you just said
Big U was also a part of the fight. So I'm trying to. So it's like, whoa, hold on, right? Hold on. So then Loose Cannon called in, and Loose Cannon broke down exactly how the fight happened. Loose Cannon can't really say specific names because, you know, he's over a jail phone. It's considered telling. But he told the full story of how the fight took place.
To conduct this call, press star. To block this, you may begin speaking now. Hello? Hey, honey.
Right now.
Huh?
And we have to do the content right now.
What happened?
They all just down there far.
I want to shout out Loose Cannon, man. Loose Cannon is so selfless. Loose Cannon is currently.
I know he lets you clout chase off of him and Brick Baby because you got 215K subscribers, and they know if you put out bullshit, your narrative is the narrative of No Jumper right now.
Give us the content. How will we
Flacco is the narrator of No Jumper right now. Hit the like button, subscribe if you ain't subscribed.
Okay, so do you guys just want to pre-record something and I play it?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. Okay, all right, it's recording.
Yeah, so, shout out to Flacco and Remo jumping on the show. Like, he's gonna go crazy. He's gonna crazy. He's gonna just down, show it.
Loose Cannon look like his left eye is smaller than his right eye. Or maybe vice versa. Look at his eyes. His eyes don't even line up. He a deformed baby. He is a twin, so his body ain't built right. Look at his pink ass, sweetie ass lips. Look, just imagine him in a pen, putting some Kool-Aid on his lips, being a girl, talking about sweetie. They gonna put him in a skirt. Man, look at he light skinned too.
I'm not sure.
Boy, them dark skinned niggas been in there 30 years.
Being lockdown or the jail going into a lockdown earlier this week due to an incident that took place. Now he will say they handled the incident. It was just normal programming. So they got it figured out. So what he is referring to is a fight that took place. Now Loose Cannon will break this down after Sharice asked exactly what happened. And here's what Loose Cannon had to say started it.
So tell me, what happened on the yard today? Or not today, excuse me, yesterday or the day before?
So they in court, what happened in court is like, you know, they was actually a couple of games and stuff like that. So something right up on it, dude. Oh, bam, take that with you. Awesome, or whatever, like this, and everything. And stuff like that.
This nigga lying.
If you're having a hard time following, I'll break it down because I was actually told the full story off air. So I'll explain it to you. Now, Loose Cannon is leaving out names on purpose, which he will later admit to, and you're about to hear him admit to that too. So Loose Cannon will say that he's seen a dude he didn't like, an enemy, in the courtyard. He walks up to the dude, bing, bang, bing, bang, boom, while yelling, "Sweetie!" So he's knocking the dude out while calling him Sweetie. Now he leaves it out, but apparently a scuffle happened between who that dude was affiliated with and who he's affiliated with.
That's when you know he's lying, when he's scuffle.
Now apparently that scuffle happened, and they got taken to the hole. Now apparently when they got to the hole, the officers brought the two other dudes to the hole as well, and it got cracking there too.
And then which is a problem after that. After the problem came,
the problem came because I gotta take care of business. Oh man, stop it. Man, he said the problem came because I had to handle business. Oh man, he is retarded as a man. Come on, man.
So you're telling me when you let that thing in the hole the first time, as soon as you arrived, they started off and popped off again at you guys?
Stop lying. Loose Cannon lying.
Okay.
He ain't had no fight in there.
Involved in the fight?
He clout chasing and using Poetic Flacco to do it.
I can say it over the phone.
I can see the comments now, bro. I can see the comments right. Yo, bro, you're probably commenting, "Cap, it's a lie."
Yes.
Well, I wasn't there, right?
Yep.
I'm only taking Loose Cannon word for it. And now what I will say though,
Cap, and you know it's Cap.
Along in jail, if Big U, Brick Baby, and Loose Cannon can get along as well in jail,
and you still pushing the narrative,
have gotten along out of jail, right? So I mean, like that's what I'm worried about, right? Like, why couldn't they have gotten along this well out of jail? Now, a lot of folks will say, wait, how is Big U, Brick Baby, and Loose Cannon in the same pod? I don't know, bro. Again, apparently when you go to a courtyard, there's different people from different pods. I don't know, okay? But apparently Loose Cannon said Brick Baby, him, and Big U was involved in a fight. Now, a lot of people have some questions regarding how is Loose Cannon and Brick Baby cellmates? That's because Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, they're not on the same case. They're not on the same indictment. So that's what a lot of people is getting confused. Brick Baby is not a part of the Big U.
So y'all say
Loose Cannon is.
Hit that like button, subscribe if you ain't subscribed.
Individual case by himself for a gun.
Poetic Flacco is a full-fledged liar, and I'm telling you that.
Brick Baby
he
and
lies,
Cannon
and you know
because they're not codees. All right, so that's how that works. So actually, while Loose Cannon was on the phone, he actually put Brick Baby on the phone, and Brick Baby spoke a little.
Hit that like button, subscribe. Hit the like button, subscribe. This is Brick is the trick.
They try to put a thing line, man. We ain't here so deep with a day read, man. We right here turned up, beat up, man. They know.
How you turned up in prison, in jail? I don't know. I ain't never been turned up in jail. Ain't nothing to turn up. You showering with other niggas. You turned up showering with other niggas.
We got gang with us right here. We got
yeah, it's fun in here, man. I can't wait till the homies get here. Jail is amazing.
I can only tell y'all what's going on in my mind, bro. It sounds like that summer camp. I'll be real with y'all, bro. It sounds like Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, and they're having a wonderful time in jail. It's
wonderful
like jail and summer camp, bro. I mean, I ain't never heard Brick Baby this happy in my life. I ain't never heard Loose Cannon this happy in my life, bro.
They up in the scores in prison. They catching fades.
Up in the
all right,
score.
They having pizza parties. All right, they behind bars, chilling. They in dorms. They on the yards, bro. They hop in my comment section talk about Flacco. How you making content and your friend in jail? Bro, my friend is chilling in jail, bro. Man, this is summer camp. And Break Baby and Loose Cannon ain't facing serious charges, right? Like Break Baby is facing a gun
This
charge.
nigga's a liar.
Got like what? 28 months. You know, like 85%.
Look at
is coming
fat
home in like
lip
9 months.
Flacco.
Like
Cloud chasing and getting all the views.
I'm not too concerned, okay? But let me know in the comment section. Do y'all believe that Brick Baby
I don't believe nothing you said.
was fighting together?
I don't believe nothing Loose Cannon or Brick Baby said. Y'all some goddamn lies, man. And you work for No Jumper,
Trapper
nigga.
Ross gets called out for
nigga.
doing this in the culture. Trapper Ross and No Jumper gets called out for doing this particular thing in the culture by a panel of some big YouTubers. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.
One person who has always stood on business and never backed down from the Rollin' 60s or their boss, Big U, is none other than Black Sam. From defending his brother against Big U.
Out. Black Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the head. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police hit him right across the street. They see him. They come in. They arrest everybody.
To putting a Crip in his place and letting him know what's up.
Hey, Demon Schaefer, hustle! Don't come over here trying to Hey, guess what? Don't do something and come back. Don't get cocky and come back.
He told him, nigga, no you Big U affiliates, friends, or nothing. Nigga, he telling you 2800 Rockstar ain't good, nigga. He ain't good, nigga.
But unfortunately on the day Nipsey was killed, Black Sam wasn't there.
2800 Rockstar, we just seen ain't no good.
Desperately trying to save his little brother's life with his own hands. We all know Eric Holder was convicted for Nipsey's murder, but the
hit that like button, subscribe if you ain't subscribed.
Know that the hit came from someone higher up. One thing Black Sam said that really stood out was how there were big politics involved with certain people.
But there was a lot of good politics getting into with certain people.
He even mentioned how Nipsey had brought DJ Khaled to the hood, which turned into a major issue. Nipsey had linked up with DJ Khaled and John Legend for the song Higher and planned to shoot the music video in the 60s. But as the story goes, as soon as Big U heard about it, things took a turn. Allegedly, he sent a gang of Rollin' 60s members to press Nipsey about it. But Nipsey, being who he was, stood his ground.
Hustle had DJ Khaled in the hood, and Hustle frontline that. And, we felt like certain people didn't like that.
Black Sam didn't mention Big U by name, but everybody knew exactly who he was talking about. Big U always had a problem with artists coming into the hood without checking in.
Oh,
and
that's
Nipsey
right.
wasn't trying to play that game.
Everybody knows Big U and Nipsey had a partner.
Charleston White.
Big U was shaking Nipsey Hussle down, making him pay protection fee sort. Nipsey Hussle got smart and say, I don't want to pay you $20,000 a month no more.
That's a lot.
And Nipsey Hussle come up.
That's a lot. 20 racks a month.
And the hood killed him. We all know this, homie.
Nipsey always had a bigger vision. He wanted to unite the community, bring Bloods and Crips together, and work towards something bigger than gang politics. That's why he worked with YG, an active Blood, to show that unity was possible. But that went against Big U's vision, and it made Nipsey a target.
What about like YG and Mustard? My homies, man. Shout out to YG and Mustard. We clicked up in LA. We got a movement. YG can come to our hood. He's a Blood. He's from Power. We can come to the 60s. I can go over there. I've been over there with my jury on it. Yeah. My being myself. And they, they respect it. They love it. I was unheard of. You couldn't do that. So it's different right now.
Black Sam has always been the type to stand firm against Big U, especially when it came to defending his brother. One major example was when Nipsey dropped You Don't Got a Clue, a track that many believe was a direct diss at Big U, especially in the first few lines.
Built so my own and everybody know it's true. They act like they supposed to have control of what I do.
As soon as Big U heard the track, he and some of his people allegedly pulled up on Nipsey to confront him. But they didn't just want to check him, they wanted to discipline him. And in street terms, that meant something serious.
Nipsey dissed, right? And he was like, hey, hey, cuz it's something about me. So Nipsey stood up or whatever, and it was just like, yeah. So he was drinking some water out of a water bottle, and he threw it on Nipsey, right? He was like, we're gonna have to go get in, or whatever. So he thought Nipsey was gonna back down. Nipsey stood up and
They supposedly planned to take him away for a DP, disciplinary action, but before things could go any further, Black Sam stepped in. Black Sam stood his ground and told Big U straight up, Nipsey wasn't going anywhere with them.
Black Sam said, cuz my brother ain't going nowhere. He was like, in front of the hood or whatever like that. He was like, my brother ain't going nowhere.
Then there was another incident where Big U confronted Nipsey, and it turned into a full-blown fight. According to sources, Big U actually got the upper hand and beat Nipsey inside, grabbed a pistol, and fired a warning shot in the air to break things up.
Black Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police hit him right across the street. They see him. They come in. They arrest everybody.
And even after his brother was killed by the very same people, Black Sam hasn't changed his stance one bit. In fact, he seems even more fearless, standing on business and protecting Nipsey's legacy at all costs. A perfect example of this happened at the grand opening of Marathon Burger in Los Angeles, a restaurant Black Sam opened to honor Nipsey. That day, he got into a heated argument with West Blovedy Crip star 2000. It's not exactly clear what started it, but from the video, it seemed like Black Sam made it clear. Anybody who didn't take action against the people who disrespected Nipsey Hussle wasn't welcome around them anymore. He wasn't entertaining any fake love.
Hey, give me shade for Hustle. This is what I'm telling you. Don't come over here, son. Hey, guess what? Don't do something to come back. Don't get cracking and come back. That's what I said, bro.
Even when Rockstar tried to defend himself, Black Sam wasn't having it. He sent him on his way right then and there.
Man, ain't nobody disrespecting, bro. With my freak, I'm coming on the internet. When you see that internet shit is weak, bro. When you see
He said that internet shit is weak.
you can't tell you know it. Tell me.
And it didn't stop there. Another person who got pressed by Black Sam was Brick Baby, who to this day remains friends with Eric Holder, the man who shot and Black Sam confronted him about it, making that keeping ties with Nipsey's killer wasn't going to slide.
Me and Sam had a disagreement.
I mean, was it because of the shitty cuz thing?
Yeah, that's why I said over the obvious. You know what it was over. Basically, it was like, you rocking with him? Like, rocking with him, I'm rocking with my brother. And we, you know, it really wasn't no words at first. It was all action.
According to Brick Baby, even though he doesn't agree with what Eric Holder did, he still considers him a friend because Holder once saved his life.
And it's like, and I'm rocking with him. You want me to say rocking with Cuz? Like, ain't my life before. I ain't rocking with him over that, what he did.
But in a wild twist of fate, Brick Baby himself is now in custody, alongside Big U. Black Sam standing on business against a group as dangerous as the Rollin' 60s, especially after they were responsible for taking out his brother, was no small thing. But instead of backing down, he's only doubled down, continuing to protect Nipsey's name and pushing forward with the mission they both believed in. Now, to fully understand the kind of atrocities Big U and his crew have been involved in, and why they're currently behind bars, let's break it all down. One of the accusations against Big U is that he has been involved in multiple murders, sometimes over the most trivial reasons. One name that appears in the indictment is Rayshawn Williams, his own artist. Back in 2021, Big U started a record label called Unique Music and signed up-and-coming rappers from the West Coast. One of them was Rayshawn Williams, but somewhere along the line, things got messy.
Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021. He dumped the victim's body.
It's not exactly clear what sparked the tension between them, but what we do know is that Ray ended up dropping a diss track aimed at Big U, and that may have cost him his life.
They do say that part of the investigation involves the murder of another young rapper back in Las Vegas.
In the song, Rayshawn called Big U a bro that made some money, basically downplaying his power, and then took it a step further by saying, "This song can get me killed for thinking ish funny." Even crazier, he rapped about getting shot in the face with a .38 revolver that would leave no trace.
Referring to Big U as bro that makes some money.
and that unnamed rapper may get shot in the face for thinking that his use of the studio and representation by Unique Music is funny.
5 days after dropping the track, Las Vegas police found his body in a ditch. He had been shot in the face with a revolver, and the cops think Big U is the one who pulled the trigger.
But the track was eerie given what happened next. Just days later, the rapper was shot in the face.
And here's where it gets even darker. Big U had known Rayshawn since he was a kid. He was actually his football coach back in the day. But that history didn't stop him from allegedly setting him up. According to court documents, Big U's label, Unique Music, flew Rayshawn from California to Las Vegas in January 2021. They put him up in an Airbnb, and he was supposed to spend the week recording new music at the studio. But when Rayshawn missed one of the sessions, Big U and his right-hand man, Sylvester Robinson, drove out to Vegas to check on him. When they pulled up to the Airbnb, they asked Rayshawn why he didn't go to the studio, and he told them he didn't have a ride. The next day, Rayshawn, Big U, and Sylvester Robinson finally made it to the studio together. No one knows exactly what went down inside, but what we do know is that a few hours later, Rayshawn was dead. Surveillance footage caught him going back to the Airbnb at around 1 a.m. He was seen getting out of the car, grabbing his suitcase, and then hopping back in. He was supposed to stay in Vegas for another day, but Big U allegedly had other plans. According to investigators, Big U drove him out to the desert, shot him in the face, and then went right back to the studio like nothing happened.
45 minutes later, surveillance video at the Airbnb showed RW exiting the passenger side of the car and entering the Airbnb. A few minutes later, he left the Airbnb with a suitcase, got back into the car, and left. RW wasn't seen again. He wasn't even supposed to leave Vegas until the next day, but he never returned to the Airbnb. Instead, his body was found on the side of the road near Interstate 15.
A witness later told cops that Big U showed back up at the studio at around 3 a.m. looking drenched in either sweat or water. When they asked him what happened, he told them he had just come back from the gym. But just a few hours later, cops found Rayshawn's body dumped in a ditch, and Big U didn't stop there. According to the indictment, he tried to cover his tracks. He allegedly took recording equipment out of the studio after the murder and told someone to get rid of the surveillance footage from that night. Investigators also believe there was some kind of fight at the studio before Rayshawn got killed, which is why Big U wanted the video gone.
Witnesses told detectives an associate of Big U removed the video recording equipment from the studio a few days after the homicide, including video that would have shown RW and Big U at the studio before he was moved.
After Rayshawn's death, Big U knew the heat was coming.
All this footage and stuff like that is just too much coincidence. That's what it gets you locked up.
If the cops pulled over the car or showed up at the crib, it would buy him some time to escape before they actually caught him. Nobody really knows the exact reason Big U allegedly killed Rayshawn, but this murder is what put him on the FBI's radar. Just a month after Rayshawn's death, the feds officially launched an investigation into Big U Enterprise. Everybody already knew Big U was one of the top dogs in the Rollin' 60s Crips. He never hid his gang ties. He was always talking about how he came up robbing cars and earned his rep in the streets by putting hands on his enemies. Back in the 80s, Big U was deep in the drug game, but he claimed he gave it up after reading the autobiography Malcolm X. That's when he switched lanes and got into the rap industry. He started managing artists, and one of the first big names he worked with was Corrupt. But Big U never really left the streets. In 1991, he got caught up trying to steal a massive load of cocaine from an undercover cop, which landed him in prison for 13 years. While locked up, Big U was still on his gangster time. He admitted to stabbing multiple people in prison and even bragged about knocking a dude's eyeball out of its socket with a single punch. After serving his time, he came home in 2004 and rebranded himself
Everybody
as a
doing their
community leader
internet
by
shit.
starting a charity
Hit that
called
like button,
Developing
subscribe if
Options.
you ain't
On
subscribed.
paper,
Say that's
Developing
Moments
Options was
TV.
supposed to help kids stay out of the streets and get involved in sports. But according to the feds, Big U was using the charity as a front to move dirty money. The city of LA even funded Developing Options through the Gang Reduction and Youth Development Grid program, giving Big U over $500,000 a year since 2015. That money was supposed to go toward at-risk youth, but instead Big U was allegedly pocketing a huge chunk of it. And it wasn't just government money. Even celebrities got caught up in the scam. According to the indictment, Draymond Green and Shaquille O'Neal both donated $20,000 each to Developing Options, thinking they were supporting a good cause. But instead of helping kids, Big U allegedly transferred the money straight into his personal account.
Mr. Henley is accused of embezzling donations made by celebrities, professional athletes, businesses, to his charity, Developing Options.
Some people got scammed out of money. Others got hands put on them. One of them millions from the players. When Big U heard about it, he wasn't happy. Not because of the scam itself, but because Bronner didn't check in with him first. So Big U sent his crew to rough up Adrian Bronner. After that, Big U took the money Bronner had stolen from the NBA players and gave it back to them. But of course, it wasn't just out of the kindness of his heart. He allegedly made each player pay him $100,000 in exchange for getting their money back. And according to an FBI informant, this wasn't just a one-time thing. A lot of NBA players and celebrities would check in with Big U to make sure they were safe at parties,
Cashing in.
games, advertising shoots.
Debo like a
Anyone
mug.
who didn't check in risked getting pressed
Big U
by
was
Big U's
Debo.
crew. Big U even once said, "If I don't pick up the phone, that could mean death for somebody." The indictment also reveals that Big U was shaking down weed dispensaries, forcing them to pay him $25,000 a month just to operate without problems. One dispensary owner couldn't afford the payments anymore, so Big U sent his goons to rob the shop. Armed men stormed in, stole cash and a bunch of weed. Then later that same day, Big U called the shop owner to his house. When the owner showed up, Big U had all the stolen money and product laid out on the table and told him, "That's how you rob yourself." Then, just to add insult to injury, he made the guy pay him another $10,000 to avoid getting robbed again. But Big U wasn't done yet. He wanted to rob more dispensaries. He told the same shop owner to help him set up other weed stores, promising him a cut of the money. As proof of how serious he was, Big U even handed the guy back some of the money that had just been stolen from his own shop. And the craziest part is, Big U's crimes were being talked about in the open, right on the internet.
Wow.
His Loose Cannon went on No Jumper
There
and
you go.
detailed the weed dispensary
Number
robbery.
one snitch.
Not realizing that the feds were watching closely, investigators quoted the interview in their indictment using Loose Cannon's own words against him. After the episode aired, Big U was pissed. He allegedly sent No
Remember, we
Jumper
just
a
watched
cease and
this girl
desist
say
letter,
he ain't in no
forcing them
real
to take
indictment.
the episode down.
We just
But
heard
by then,
Poetic
it
Flacco
was
say
too
he
late.
ain't in no
The
real
damage was
indictment.
already done.
He part of the robberies. That's a Rico. That nigga ain't coming home
Did you take that
Wednesday.
interview down?
They lying.
And that wasn't the only thing Loose Cannon admitted to on No Jumper. According to the indictment, he also talked about how he and Big U extorted a celebrity rapper for $50,000. Loose Cannon wasn't just running his mouth. He was still active in the streets. On January 3rd, 2025, he allegedly pistol whipped a man, put a gun to his head, and let two of his homies snatch his jewelry, cash, and phone. According to the cops, Big U had his hands in extortion schemes all over the city. One of the wildest incidents in the indictment goes back to 2021, when Big U threw a birthday party for himself at a nightclub. He told the club owners that he was going to bring in some huge like T.I. and Wiz Khalifa, so they struck a deal. Big U would get 30% of the money made at the bar that night. But when Big U and his crew pulled up, things took a turn. Instead of just collecting his cut, he forced one of the club owners into a back room and extorted him for $30,000. The feds had already been watching Big U and his crew for years, and this was just another incident on a long list of crimes they were tracking. They had wiretaps, surveillance, and paid informants, and they were building a solid case. At one point, the feds actually recorded Big U plotting a robbery. It all started when a celebrity rapper got jacked for his studio equipment. Big U heard about it and decided he was going to rob the guys who stole it. Some of the stolen equipment had an Apple AirTag on it, meaning they could track it in real time. Big U and his crew loaded up their guns, tracked the thieves down, and were about to hit the lick. But at the last second, they spotted cops in the area and decided to call it off. That wiretap was a major piece of evidence in the Fed's case, proving that Big U was still operating like a crime boss, even though he was trying to convince the public that he had changed. But in a different wiretap conversation, Big U pretty much exposed himself and told someone, "If I ever had a problem with any man, color, creed, king, or kind, the issue would have been resolved. He wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be here. I'm still who they say I am, and I'll pull up on your block right now and show up and show out." That's what happened to the last dude that thought I retired. The feds also had informants feeding them information from the inside.
That's telling like a motherfucker on
an
yourself.
informant actually
That's
handed
the
Big U
dumbest
money
statement I
while
ever heard.
undercover. But what Big U didn't know was that the cash was coming straight from the Fed.
You
They
know he
recorded
got
the whole
Nipsey
thing,
Hussle whack.
giving them video
Saying some
proof
shit
that
like
Big U
that,
was
nigga,
still
you
moving
did
money
that.
under the table. Before
Little
turning
Shitty
himself in,
is
Big
Brick
U
Baby's
went
Lil
live on
Homie.
Instagram to deny
Always
everything.
remember,
He told
Brick
his
Baby
followers
is
that
Big
all the
Shitty.
stories about him were trash and that he was only trying to
Never
help his
forget
community. According to him, people were just trying to bring him down because they didn't want to see him win. One of the most surprising parts of the whole situation is that Big U's own son is a rising star in the NFL. Diane Henley, a linebacker for the Los Angeles Chargers, is in a position to take care of the whole family. He's out here making legit money in the league. But instead of chilling and living off his son's success, Big U just couldn't leave the streets alone. Now, instead of enjoying his son's rise in the NFL, he's facing the possibility of life in prison.
Better know it. Better know it. Big U, he got his son in position. And that's why he got him in position. Why? He knew he couldn't be a Ram. The Rams is the heavy hitters of LA right now. He got him to be a Charger. And that is the bread and butter that for sure makes sure the family is all right. Even if his dad is in jail, in federal penitentiary, his son making Charger money will forever put him in the right position to take care of the family. See, Big U, he knew what he was doing, but I still think he on some bullshit. So straight up, like, I don't trust nothing. And that's how I feel, and that's how it go. You got something to do with Black Sam. Black Sam didn't want us, like, man, come on, man. We gonna watch some other stuff about Big U. It ain't over.
Authorities say Eugene Henley Jr., known as Big U, ran a criminal enterprise that committed a series of racketeering crimes, including extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and the of an aspiring rapper.
Big U's son's best friend played on a football team who was living with Big U. And they were saying that Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support.
The feds just dropped a bombshell that's going to change everything we thought we knew about Eugene Henley, aka Big U. The man who once helped guide some of LA's biggest names, now tangled in a Red Rum investigation. But it gets crazier. The feds allegedly leaked footage that shows Big U at the crime scene, and we're talking about the unaliving of one of his own artists. And the feds aren't just stopping at one body. They say Big U might be tied to the disappearance of other artists under his label. No bodies, no closure, just silence. And that hit list he's got, trust, the names on it are gonna shock you. Major celebs, street figures, you name it. They might just be next on the chopping block. Let's dive in. Let's take it back to January 2021. Things were looking bright for 21-year-old Rayshawn Williams. Fresh out of LA, trying to break into the rap game, and he gets that golden opportunity. Big U, the guy running Unique Music, brings him out. Big U was supposed to be that mentor, the one who looked out for him. But then, things went south, fast. Rayshawn started disappearing, missing studio sessions, ghosting calls, just not showing up. And Big U wasn't having it. He'd put in the work, the calls, booked the time, and now the kid was flaking. Behind the scenes, there was even more going on that U wasn't seeing coming. Rayshawn had dropped a track, a diss track aimed straight at Big U. And it wasn't just some random bars. And even though the track never hit the public, it did make its rounds in the streets. Word got back to Big U. And let's just say, that was the point of no return.
You always say if you know anything about these gang murders, give me the information. But when a football player is the best friend of your son, who's living with you, turns up dead, you don't want nothing to do with nothing.
Fast forward to the night of the studio session, and the air is thick with tension. Rayshawn finally shows up after going 8 days, and the vibe is instantly off. You can tell Big U's frustrated, and Rayshawn, he's got that defiant energy, like he's ready to burn bridges, even though he's got everything to lose. Hours later, at 8:42 a.m. on January 24th, 2021, Rayshawn's body is discovered in a ditch just outside Vegas. The details, chilling. His face is riddled with bullet holes, and there's no ID, no phone, nothing. Just a dead body dumped like yesterday's trash. It didn't take long for people to start making connections. Rayshawn had just been in the studio with Big U hours before. And that was the beginning of everything coming unraveled. By 2023, the FBI was connecting the dots. Big U was allegedly running Unique Music like a full-on crime syndicate. Money laundering, extortion, even human movement. And in the middle of all this chaos, Rayshawn Williams had unwittingly become a pawn in something way darker. To make matters worse, he was allegedly running an extortion ring. Rappers, athletes, influencers. If you were a big name coming into LA, you had to check in. You had to pay to keep your protection in line. And if you didn't, your car might get shot up, your chain might disappear, your shows could get canceled. The Fed said it was all part of a system that Big U controlled.
That's a mistake that everybody makes when it comes down to checking in. Is either you checking in to get set up and get robbed, or you checking in to get killed.
And here's where it gets even messier. Names
Just
started
like that.
flying. Corrupt, Snoop, Suge Knight, Nipsey,
Just like that.
all connected to Big U. Some through music, some through real life
All
street
connected.
ties. But no
All
one
the
was
way to
talking.
Nipsey
And that
Hussle,
brings us
all
a
the
moment
way
that
to
shook
Lil
the hip-hop
Shitty.
world, the unaliving of P&B Rock. Because let's keep it real, that wasn't just some random hit. So here's the thing about P&B Rock refused to play the game. He didn't check in. In interviews, he made it crystal clear. He didn't believe in checking in with LA gatekeepers. No security, no extra precautions. He moved like he wasn't afraid of nobody. He even told the world his girl felt unsafe rocking her ring outside. And when asked about LA, he literally compared it to Grand Theft Auto, like wild, wild West energy. That exact GTA vibe he warned us about, it's the same one that caught up to him. That same danger jumped him at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in broad daylight. That was no robbery gone wrong. That was execution energy.
What occurred was the victim, along with a female witness, were in this area eating at a restaurant when they were approached by at least one suspect who brandished a firearm and demanded property from the victim.
Unless you want to move around with security, you don't have to do that. Like, what it is? 100%. Feel me? Like, that should be ass, bro. People are targets out here, and especially it's tried me out here a couple times, feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie. That shit don't never work. Feel me? I mean, 2 on point.
And then just when everything seemed to be simmering down, Loose Cannon pops out in early 2024 on a podcast and starts talking reckless. He implies on camera that he and Big U were at the scene when P&B got hit. Like, excuse me? Who does that? Who casually places themselves at a murder scene on a podcast and he wasn't done? In that same interview, Loose started throwing Big U under the bus with wild allegations. Said Big U was allegedly selling firearms to gangs, keeping track of serial numbers, then later on snitching to the cops. Yup, Loose claimed Big U had a contract with law enforcement to report street crimes, basically calling him a federal informant in a room full of microphones. Enforcement to report street crimes, basically calling him a federal informant in a room full of microphones.
Scumbag stuff. He sick the police on Nipsey. He act like, oh, it was just a sting operation.
Then just days later, Loose's own twin brother, Jermaine Williams, jumps on another podcast and tries to clean up the mess. He says Loose was capping for views, chasing clout, and making stuff up just to go viral. Claims none of it was real, that Big U wasn't involved, and Loose was basically just spiraling on air. But here's the real question. Even if Loose was lying, why place himself and Big U at the scene of a homicide? Nobody would be joking about Red Rum unless they got a reason. Then, March 2025, the feds dropped the hammer. An indictment came down. 122 pages of facts, dates, and times. They had everything. And the real smoking gun? Body cam footage from a Nevada state trooper. Footage that hadn't been seen by the public until now. The video showed a black SUV linked to Big U's associate, leaving the site where Rayshawn's body was dumped. The timestamp matched that studio session. Then, hours later, surveillance from a 7-Eleven showed Big U and that same associate getting gas like it was a regular night. But the feds weren't done. They pulled a forensic trace from a burner phone and allegedly found deleted footage. A blurry dashcam shot, but enough to piece together the truth. Rayshawn was in the back seat, scared out of his mind. The GPS data? It logged the final stop, a landfill, the exact spot where his body was dumped. The feds said this wasn't a random act of violence. They said it was a message, discipline, a warning to others who didn't follow the rules. Then came the kicker, the hit list. The feds allegedly found a Dropbox file on Big U's encrypted laptop. Inside was a list of names, each with dollar amounts next to them. Some names were crossed out, others were circled. The list allegedly included labels, promoters, even retired street guys who switched up. And the prosecutors confirmed that Big U was officially being charged with Rayshawn's Red Rum, first degree, premeditated. They said the motive was betrayal, and the execution was cold-blooded. They also claimed that you used the red rum as a cover-up for all the other dirt he was moving. But here's the thing, the streets weren't convinced. Some said Big U was framed. They thought he had enemies in high places who were setting him up. Others, though, believed he had been playing both sides for too long, and karma finally caught up to him. Big U's nonprofit, Developing Options, got hit hard too. The feds froze its accounts, claiming Big U used it to move dirty money and cover his tracks. Celebs who once supported him started backing away. The man who once seemed like a community pillar, now he's a man no one wants to be associated with. The connection to Nipsey's death got dug up too. Big U and Nipsey had tension before Nipsey was killed. But the conspiracy theories got juicier when footage surfaced of Big U with Eric Holder's cousin at a party 2 weeks before Nipsey was shot. It was circumstantial, but the internet ran wild with it. SKG doubled down, saying Big U tried to blacklist her when she refused to pay tribute to Nipsey. She said other female rappers were too scared to talk.
Weeks have passed, Nipsey started calling me. So this is where I got mad at Nipsey because I'm like, did you set me up? So remember, I didn't see him no more after this meeting. Nipsey started calling me.
And this is probably what year?
2009.
The feds hinted that Ray Sean wasn't the only one. They said there were other artists under Unique who vanished. Some deported, others just disappeared. No obituaries, no death certificates, just gone. And even with Big U locked up, the whispers say he's still pulling strings. From inside, allegedly, he's using old contacts and loyalty cards to clean up loose ends. The talk is, there's a hit list, and some of the names on that list are people who might testify against him when the time comes. A few of these former Unique affiliates have been staying low, keeping silent, but the feds already have eyes on them. Their names are red flagged. They're labeled as high-risk witnesses, and if they ever speak up, the whole operation might unravel. But people close to the case claim strange things have started happening. Disappearances, unmarked cars tailing witnesses, family members suddenly relocating, wash money being passed around. It's looking like someone's making moves to make sure the story dies before it's ever told. So now the puzzle pieces are stacking up, footage confirming Big U at the scene, whispers of a hit list, missing artists, and a network that feels way bigger than just Unique music. This ain't just another music industry scandal. This is starting to look like a takedown in real time. And the deeper you go, the darker it gets. But here's what got everybody holding their breath. If Big U really had a hit list, who else was on it? Are some of these major celebs just one bad headline away from being exposed? And now that the feds are locked in, how far will this investigation actually go? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so you don't miss a single update. Because the next name to drop
he in
might
trouble.
just shake the whole industry.
Trouble. Now see what Law and Crime got to say about it. This is the facts. He can't run from the facts.
You know, these alleged.
Here we go.
Sweeping RICO indictment called Operation Drawdown. I'm Elizabeth Milner with Law and Crime. Now, before we get into this case, I want to tell you about something really exciting at Law and Crime. We're launching a new channel called Scandal that's dedicated to exposing the dark side of fame, covering all the wild crimes in Hollywood, and diving into the disturbing rumors floating around celebrity circles. Now, to stay up to date on all the latest celebrity scandals, click the link in the description of this video and subscribe to Scandal today. So back to this story. The indictment against Big U is more than 100 pages long. Now, in their case, the feds say he ran a mafia-like enterprise. He's accused of murder, kidnapping, embezzlement, robbery, and extortion. And that's just to name a few. Now, Big U claims he's innocent, but if he's convicted on these charges, he's facing the rest of his life in prison.
I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all. I don't even know what to say.
Big U seemed to be on the right track after an earlier stint in prison. He turned himself into a community activist, specifically an anti-gang activist. He reportedly helped launch Nipsey Hussle's career. He was a music exec, so it seems like he was doing a lot of good. But according to the feds, while he was playing the role of community peacemaker, really, he was an active gang member for the 60s Crips. And not just an active gang member, he ran it. So the investigation was years in the making. According to his complaint, back in 2021, an FBI task force launched their investigation into his alleged criminal enterprise and its association with the Rolling 60s Crips. The feds claim Big U's association with the gang has been ongoing since the 80s, where he earned the reputation of being an enforcer. But here's the thing, They claim Big U ran his enterprise separately from the Rolling 60s. For example, the indictment says Big U's enterprise purported control of Los Angeles. Individuals, including professional athletes, musicians, and others who came there for business, were required to check in. So what does that mean? Well, according to the feds, the check-in included payments to the Big U enterprise, as well as requesting permission from Big U himself to conduct certain activities, including acts of violence that were sanctioned by the Big U enterprise. The indictment even points to an appearance Big U made on the Nothing is Something podcast, where he stated, if you choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences. Another example the indictment points to is the attempted murder of rapper Quando Rondo. You know, the alleged murder for hire that has rapper Lil Durk locked up now. According to Big U's indictment, Quando Rondo didn't check in, and as a result, his cousin was killed. Federal agents allege while Big U's enterprise has a history and reputation to control LA through violence, fear, and intimidation, Big U simultaneously attempted to create an air of legitimacy. How? By promoting himself as a reformed gang member who focused on bettering his community through his nonprofit like Developing Options. And it appears Big U was doing good for his community. It began in 2004, and essentially the organization had a mission to decrease gang activity and empower the kids that lived in LA. That's a big problem. Federal agents allege he embezzled money meant as a charitable donation and used the nonprofit entities to fraudulently apply for government assistance and loans. So I gotta mention here, obviously when you're accused of running an enterprise, you probably can't do it alone. Big U isn't the only defendant in this indictment. The feds named Sylvester Robinson, aka Bay, Mark Martin, aka Bearclaw, who according to the Developing Options website is the vice president of the organization. The indictment also names Tremaine Williams, aka Loose Cannon, Armani Appledge, aka Monty, Frederick Blatton Jr., and Tiffany Hines. So Big U, Vay, and Bearclaw are accused of RICO conspiracy. Loose Cannon is accused of interference with commerce by robbery. Armani Appledge is accused of transportation of an individual in interstate commerce with intent that that individual engage in prostitution. Meanwhile, Frederick Blanton Jr. and Tiffany Hines are accused of bank fraud. The indictment alleges Big U, Vay, Loose Cannon, and Bearclaw committed and arranged robberies to enrich the Big U enterprise. It alleges Big U, Vay, and Bearclaw extorted individuals in LA for purported protection. It also alleges Big U defrauded various companies, donors, athletes, and celebrities. So another example is Big U is putting more than $1 in donations to Developing Options. According to the LA Times, in August of 2019, NBA star Draymond Green donated $20,000 to the nonprofit. But Big U allegedly embezzled that donation by putting it into his personal checking account. Shaq also donated $20,000 to the organization and the Crenshaw Rams youth sports team, but most of that money also went into Big U's personal account. According to FBI Special Agent Andrew Rusa, the LA Mayor's office is supposed to oversee the program, and they should have rejected Developing Options. Now, why would they reject an organization intended to do good? Well, because each contractor needs to pass a lot of requirements, like background checks, training, approval of employees, stuff like that. But according to Agent Rusa, Developing Options failed to do that. He wrote, quote, "Based on my review of documents to this investigation, Developing Options appears to have failed to comply with some or potentially all of those requirements." So that's a lot, right? But Big U is accused of more than just that, like murder and dumping a body in the desert. According to the indictment, on January 20th of 2021, a rapper only known as RW recorded a diss record. And who was he dissing? Big U. Referring to Big U as bro, that makes some money. And that unnamed rapper may get shot in the face for thinking that his use of the studio and representation by Unique Music is funny. But the track was eerie given what happened next. Just days later, the rapper was shot in the face. But it's unclear if Big U heard the lyrics before the murder. Agents allege Big U was the only one with the motive to murder RW. So what exactly happened? Well, according to witnesses, RW was in Vegas, and who else was there? Big U and Vay. Investigators noted Big U's phone location data and witnesses showed he arrived in Vegas at an Airbnb. On January 24th of 2021, Big U arrived to his studio and RW was there, recording until around midnight. A little after 12:30 a.m., Big U left the studio and his phone stopped reporting his location. About 45 minutes later, surveillance video at the Airbnb showed RW exiting the passenger side of the car and entering the Airbnb. A few minutes later, he left the Airbnb with a suitcase, got back into the car, and left. All of this time, Big U's phone wasn't reporting his data. Likely it was turned off, but then it started again at 2:15 a.m. And here's the thing, RW wasn't seen again. He wasn't even supposed to leave Vegas until the next day, but he never returned to the Airbnb. Instead, his body was found on the side of the road near Interstate 15. Investigators say he died from multiple gunshot wounds. They also noted he wasn't dressed for the weather. Remember, it's late January around this time. DNA collected from around his ankles pointed to RW being dragged into the desert hallway. Witnesses told detectives an associate of Big U removed the video recording equipment from the studio a few days after the homicide, including video that would have shown RW and Big U at the studio before he was murdered. And there was probable cause to conclude that the footage from the DVR system would have shown an altercation between Big U and RW on the night of January 24th. And it seems Big U switched up on the rapper's extended family too. The victim's aunt told investigators she confronted Big U about arranging her nephew's trip out to Vegas, which Big U admitted to, according to the indictment. And Big U even called her on a weekly basis prior to the murder, then stopped after the murder. And after she confronted him, she never heard from him again. Again, this was back in 2021. But remember how I mentioned this was an investigation? By 2023, the feds were conducting a wiretap on Big U. He allegedly ordered witnesses not to speak with police about the murder. Like I mentioned, it's a lot. And when the indictment came down, federal agents claimed Big U went on the run. Then he published a series of videos to Instagram swearing by his innocence.
This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons, I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, we're gonna deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quiet, man. Shit's all bull crap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all. I don't even know what to say. I'm 21 years, elevated my family, come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I come back home. People are supposed to help me, I hope you help me. Hank, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people not being hunted.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
I can't believe you just said that. That's crazy.
Appreciate y'all. You know, I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Development Option or I used Development Option for some front. Development Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made.
Yeah, you telling on yourself. Keep telling on yourself.
I never.
That's exactly why they on your ass. Cause you paid your note. You paid your everything for you. That money wasn't for you to buy a house.
Just like everybody
that money wasn't for you to take care of your family. You were supposed to take care of it.
Came back and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes and them coming out talking about I was using Development Option as a cover for what? None of that's gonna be true. None of that's gonna be true. The government put this big picture, they want to arrest 21 dudes, some dudes I don't even talk to. I don't even know nothing about it. So how the hell you gonna lump me in with all that? But it's all the big picture though. It's all the big picture. Now I'm gonna be sitting in here, it's gonna be years on my life. Then you going to get dudes who I don't even talk to. What they gonna say? You ruining people's lives. I heard it's over 21 people that's arrested. Wrong. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Church, let's pray for me.
That's why Brick Baby and everybody else in there with you. That's exactly why Brick Baby and everybody else in there with you.
21 years. It ain't over though. That's what it's not.
It's almost.
Blessings.
How old you is?
Comparing his case to Young Thug's, but alleged music manager Wack 100 is working with the Fed.
I'm looking at all these charges on the news. I'm headed back to LA. And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest them? people that I don't even talk to. That's a built-in liar right there. You know what I mean? So
He said a built-in liar.
is that how they gonna work the case? Everybody know I don't McKinney. Everybody know I'm a quick thing. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them are the dudes you gonna have that call themselves turn against me. Well, ain't no turn against me. I ain't going for that.
What you going for then?
600 and what? These dudes been saying I did all year. So what they doing is they go on the internet and these dudes say that I did something on the internet. Then when you say I did on the internet, they go investigate. Now you raiding my houses, raiding my shops, raiding all this stuff. They tell me I'm committing crimes and covering up with development option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with development option? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. I think you're telling.
Nothing up with development option.
Trying to wiggle. You trying to wiggle right now.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. They the one or two people to say something. Wiggle, wiggle. Ain't gonna be no real evidence. Ain't gonna be no real nothing. It's gonna be repeated thugs. It's gonna be a bunch of people in jail for a bunch of different crimes that don't have nothing to do with me. You fill up all of us up and say it's all over on the 60s. Watch and see. We just seen it with us. I'm finna experience the same thing. I knew it was coming. Now they on there saying all this stuff to assassinate my character.
And what else? And what else? What'd he say? What'd he say?
Man, just pray for me. And again, they can do any one of us. And ain't nobody say what these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? And y'all sitting there following them. Everybody that's a part of them shows and 100 shows, all them shows. And y'all need to, everybody who's following them, promoting them, y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black. Y'all showing for our people. They can charge against anybody. So this is gonna probably be my last video.
Yeah, sure is. You turn your ass in.
See what's going on. They talking about my fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, it was actually about Wack, loose cannon, 600. And this internet stuff. All of y'all fired. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet. All y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying. All y'all giving these likes and hidden likes. All y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this. If you have something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he's gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city, and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me.
And why would they do that?
Scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sending it around, getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I have nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This is the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they go on the internet and do what they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Because I ain't did nothing. The fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my window. They called on my son at his football practice, threatening him. You know what I mean? These dudes tagging him. What kind of is this? But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. Now I got this last thing to say. Wax City's gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? Which one of you in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in,
He said, fuck
y'all the
nigga
ones
from
that's working with
60s.
Wax. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who's gonna cooperate. That's what the play is. That's what the whole play is. I'm out. I'm gonna send y'all videos to put up.
Yeah, we know.
Until they lock me up.
We know.
Now, WAC 100 denied that he was working with the feds. As for Big U, federal agents say he did eventually turn himself in. But by that time, they and Barraclaw were already arrested, and 18 other Rolling 60 Crips associates were federally charged. Big U was ordered to remain behind bars pending a detention hearing in federal court at the end of the month, and no plea has been entered yet. He's expected to be arraigned on April 8th. There's so many allegations laid out in this indictment. Let's bring on Detective Eric Barnes. Eric, it's always great to see you. Now,
Hey, I'm finna end this live. I'm finna come back right back with another subtitle because Munchie B got some new stuff and I gotta title it Munchie the Buster. So you know, I'm finna come right back with another live. All right, I'm gonna do that after I do this Munchie thing. I'm finna close out and then I'm finna do this Munchie thing, get a picture of him, put the subtitle, and I'm coming right back. Facts.